Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala barakatuh. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. We are always grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us this opportunity to pass on this positive message to all our brothers and sisters wherever you are, inshallah. By this recording of these videos on being achievers in life, we can then help to make the ummah a better ummah, a stronger ummah, an achieving ummah that can lead the world to a better civilization, inshallah, in the near future. So what is important is, I have explained to you how this framework of feeling, emotion and thinking, our F.E.T loop, is affecting us at the spiritual, emotional, mental and physical level, and how our physiology as well as our realm of the unconscious, the spiritual, emotional, mental, is receiving input and data that affects our thinking, affects our feeling, affects our emotion, and how we can do certain exercises that we can develop within the framework of positive Islamic psychology and as well as traditional psychology, as well as we study within the perspective of muraqabah, muhasabah, meditation, reflection. We can then, zikrullah, we can then change so that we can harness all these beautiful tools that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has endowed upon our Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all the sahabis, tabi'in and all the great alim and ulama who has brought this beautiful deen of love, mercy and compassion to all of us to this day. So I'm going to give you an idea of how we are going to transform ourselves using one technique. Transforming our feeling, emotion and thinking loop, all right, using R.W.I.D. Whatever that we do in life, we must have a certain perspective. So in methods of achieving, there is this concept, even in psychology, even in whatever that we do in life, we must have R.W.I.D. So this R.W.I.D. is a very simple concept. R represents relative. W relative, W weight. Okay, relative weight, all right, that we put on to the ourself. I represents importance. Relative weight of importance for our duration. Okay, so this is a concept. Relative weight of importance and duration. So relative weight of importance and duration. If you study this word, the R.W.I.D, this is a concept taught by my teachers of how we can actually harness everything that we do. What is the relative weight and importance that you give to, for example, your sense of achievement, your sense of purpose in life, your sense of achieving something good, or it's just like you're muddling through life, just with no purpose, no meaning, and no direction. So it is important that if we are going to control our direction of life towards peace, happiness and success, we have to control first our feeling, emotion and thinking loop. So all the time our feeling, emotion and thinking loop must be based on the relative weight of importance and duration that we want to focus. So for example, you have negative feelings, you have negative emotions, you have negative thoughts. So what happened? This inner speech that is built in ourselves, the relative weight and importance that we give to this negative F.E.T will then control us. This is where we talk about the concept of automatic thoughts. Aaron Beck explained this about automatic thought, and Ibn al-Qayyim explained about our inner speech. So in Islam we have this inner speech. So what is this inner speech? This inner speech is the loop that is going round and round and round in our mind that affects our perception, that is going around in our feelings, emotion and thoughts. I'm using the word mind in that inverted comma, but actually it is the realm of the spiritual, emotional, mental and physical that is affecting our negative inner speech. So we have this negative or positive, what we call automatic thoughts, or, alright, in Islam, or in our model we call it inner speech. Okay, so everything that you do, if you want to transform yourself, you want to change your perception, alright, we have to always begin every day by thinking what is the relative weight of importance and duration that we give to that idea or that concept or that thought or that something that's affecting us all the time. Alright, I give you an example. For example, if we have waking up in the morning frustrated, for example, we wake up in the morning, we are going to go to work, and the inner speech that we have of having to go to work is something that negative. Oh, I hate going to work. Oh, you know, I hate my boss. Oh, I hate everything is based on these negative feelings of frustration, anguish, and difficulties. Maybe you have a wonderful job. Maybe you could be a company manager, for example. But then you have your bosses on the top, you the CEO or CEO and so on. But you hate that job. You do not like that job. So you are stressed every day because maybe you have to take care of the performance of maybe 100 or 200 or 1,000 staff below you and whatever it is. And you are getting maybe wonderful life, wonderful salaries. You may even own a Mercedes-Benz, you may even own a couple of houses and so on. But based on this perception that you hate your job, that has been playing in your inner self, that will cause you to live in stress. Naturally, when you go to the doctor, in such situation, the doctor say, oh, you're having high blood pressure, or you're having diabetes, you're having all the manifestation of the inner F.E.T loop that is negative. So you understand very clearly, it is not that is something that is so bad. People in that situation, if it is a positive loop, the same company manager, if he has a positive F.E.T loop, he must reflect. The relative weight that he gives on the negative hate thought is that he gives the relative weight of a positive gratitude thought. What does he can do? Oh, Alhamdulillah, I'm a company manager. I have more than 100 staff working for me. Alhamdulillah, I can take care of their welfare. They can have wonderful jobs. Alhamdulillah, I own a wonderful car and I have properties and so on. So I'm ever grateful and thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes, I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm not a billionaire or a millionaire, but I'm happy the way I am. So now, the same thing, the F.E.T loop is what? Your feeling is happiness, your emotion is to express that happiness, your thoughts is the thoughts of gratitude and the thoughts of being able to give back to society. So the relative weight and importance of these two thoughts in the same example, exactly the same example, alright, these two thoughts will be then taking place in your F.E.T. Alright? To shape or color your perception, these automatic thoughts and inner speech is a play, if I use the word, is a play in your mindset. Alright? You have to understand this very carefully, because once you know that, then you can detect. For example, in the first scenario, you hate the job even though you are earning many thousands of USDs a month as your company manager. The moment that expression of feelings of, I hate the job, you know, I'm sick, you know, so that you straight away you can catch it. But if you don't catch it, what happened? The whole day, that relative weight and importance of that distortion, of that anguish, that frustration is going to play all the time in your F.I.T cycle here. Alright? So you have the two ways. One is negative, one is positive. Alright, so your R.W.I.D, if you play on the negative, then what you do, you'll descend. At this point, you have your, alright, F.E.T, alright, this is one loop, and it goes down again. F.E.T, it goes down again. Alright, so this is F.E.T. So this is what we call, this cycle of F.E.T will affect you all the way. Alright, so this F.E.T is what? This is a vicious cycle. Vicious cycle towards what? Towards failure. This is a failure. This is the failure mode. Towards failure, frustration, anguish, stress, all the things that is being manifested in your life. So what is important, you catch this very, very early. Use R.W.I.D. Is it manifesting in your inner speech and automatic thoughts? So you can use this method even as your own DIY. With the grace of Allah, your own DIY to overcome your depression, to overcome your anxiety, to overcome your financial problem, to overcome your sense of failure in life, to overcome your career change, to overcome so many things that you can do. If you understand this concept, it is basically you give very little, relative little weight of importance to vicious F.E.T. That means this you give very little. That means for this one you give very little attention. You don't give that much attention, because if you give a lot of attention, this is what is going to happen. It's go round and round and round and round and round. So this relative weight of importance and duration of a negative feeling, of a negative emotion, of a negative thought must be reduced. It is impossible for you to completely eliminate. We are human beings. We know that. But it will come as automatic thoughts. It will come as inner speech, which will then affect us in a way that is harmful for us insofar as our peace, happiness and success, insofar as our iman, insofar as our ability to reach out to become achiever in life. So how are we going to do that? We use the same mechanism, R.W.I.D, relative weight of importance and duration, towards a more positive loop. So you start at this point. You have your F, you have your E, you have your T. And the loop goes up, you have your F, you have your E, you have your T. So this is a virtuous cycle. This is a wonderful cycle. This is where you train your inner speech and your automatic thoughts to swing from negativity to positivity, from failure thinking to success thinking, from unhappiness thinking to happiness thinking, from so many things. At every point of your life, remember this concept. It's a very simple concept. If you do it practically, inshallah, you'll achieve great success in this world and the hereafter. And this same concept, you can use it as your basis for your muraqabah, as your basis for your mushahadah, as your basis of your meditation, your reflection and thinking about your life, the big picture. Who am I? Where am I going in this life? What am I going to do today? What am I going to do 5 years from now, 10 years from now? So all these are relative weight of importance and duration of things that inshallah you want to do, you want to achieve, you want to be somebody who is contributing to this world, striving to be good, helping others to be good, making the world good, striving to be a true and sincere servant of Khalifa of Allah on this earth, and so on. So many things. So this very basic concept, remember, R.W.I.D. Alright? So in achievement and success motivation, this is one beautiful concept that you can integrate with positive Islamic psychology using always your F.E.T loop. Remember your F.E.T loop, your feeling, emotional and thinking loop, and put the relative weight onto the virtuous cycle towards peace, happiness, and success, inshallah.